Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and joining me today. I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are awesome and you're just doing the most. Thank you. Well, if you're new here and don't know who I am, my name is Letabo, and don't you feel out of place because most of us are actually new here. So what you can do is click on that subscribe button so you can become part of our small family. Yep. And for every single one of you who has already subscribed, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys, ladies of Amazo, hey, thank you so much. Well, I do know that today's video is coming in a little bit late and I have to apologize for that. I had a cold throughout the week and couldn't record, but I am recovering well and I am ready for this journey to continue. Well, without wasting any more of your time, in today's video, I want us to talk about something that I think is very important. Also, I think that it deserves more attention that we're giving it already, and that is mental illness. We are focusing particularly on depression. So yes, we're talking depression in Africa. Well, I know that we're a little bit late as World Mental Health Day was on the 10th of October, but we're still within October, and I still believe more than anything that the conversation around depression within Africa is a conversation that we need to give more attention than we could possibly give. Before bombarding you with all the information and statistics, I have to admit that depression has always been one of those subjects that I prefer to stay away from. For the longest times, I've told my friends that I didn't feel comfortable engaging in this subject because I didn't quite understand it. I think the reason why I never really understood the subject is because, my background has always shielded me from conversations around mental health or any conversations that were considered taboo in Africa. And I'm not even sure if I should use the word shielded, but I was never exposed to these types of conversations that I'm having right now. Having grown up in the villages, words like depression, anxiety, words like bipolar disorder or eating disorders were very foreign to me. And obviously, I've never really heard of these types of words until I moved to varsity. So even after moving to the city and going to varsity, I remember how I still could not wrap my mind around the concept of mental health illnesses. Well, I think to me it always seemed as though people in the villages where I came from were never depressed. Meanwhile, people in the city were always depressed. Well, now a few years later, and thinking back, I ask myself, could it be that people in the villages were never depressed or are never depressed? Or we just simply never talked openly about the subject? Could it be that people in the villages are never depressed? Or we just had other words to describe what they went through. Words like madness. Well, she's mad. Words like bewitched. Didn't you hear? He was bewitched. Could it be that our families have swept those issues under the carpet in fear of carrying a stigma of living with a mad person? Could it be that many of our young people in schools are carrying depression on their shoulders, but their parents have told them that depression is a white man's sickness? Could it be that we call those kids today dumb because they can't cope in schools? Again, could depression be the reason why there is a rise in suicide numbers among Kenyan men? Could it be that many of our mothers are actually depressed, but no one talks openly about it because their sickness is not physical? Well, the truth is, I may not be able to tell you how many people in my village or any other village around Africa suffer from this silent epidemic, but I can tell you that depression is said to be the most prevalent mental illness in the world, with an estimate of 100 million people suffering from clinical depression just in Africa. And of course, many of you may not understand this information or even take it seriously because you don't have any friends or family members who have been diagnosed with this illness. But I can tell you this for free, that if we do not tackle the issue of mental health as a continent, then as a continent, we are going nowhere slowly. Of course, I still admit to not knowing much about this subject, but I still believe that it is essential that we have this conversation as a continent. As a continent, we need to ask ourselves the right questions. As individuals, have we contributed to the mental instabilities of other people? Have we been dismissive of how they feel or their mental wellness? As communities, what are we doing? What can we do to help our brothers and sisters? Are we taking interest in the mental wellness of our children? Perhaps as a continent, if we decided to engage in these conversations, we might just be able to help our young people who have buried themselves in substance abuse. And also we might just be able to reduce the number of suicides that are happening in our communities due to this pandemic. And of course, the conversation does not stop with us. It has to be escalated to the leaders across Africa. Why is it that 85% of people living with mental illnesses in Africa do not have the right or effective treatment? So the question is, in a continent where over 100 million people live with mental illnesses, how come we're still not taking it seriously? And research shows that only 15% of South Africans with mental illnesses receive treatment. And in Ghana and Ethiopia, the estimates are less than 10%. Well, based on everything that I've just said, I am now hoping that you would agree with me when I say that this issue deserves much more attention. Unfortunately, though, I would not be able to exhaust this issue on one video, and I'm hoping that we will be able to continue having this conversation in our homes and on social media. Now, please don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to comment on this video. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah.